Hello again, Dwayne with PhoenixTypewriter.com. We traded in this Smith Corona SD750 for a couple other Smith Corona electronic machines. This one's got a little bit of a keyboard repair, but we're going to repair that, put it back out in the market. But this is the basic H series machine. Uses the H cartridge that was super popular. They made regular typewriters out of these, they made word processors out of these, they made memory typewriters out of these, and they made basic electronic typewriters out of these. Now, this machine, like I said, it works except for some of the keys are not triggering off here, so we gotta take the keyboard apart and rebuild it. It's pretty standard procedure with this. But first thing I noticed when we got this one in was it is using these cheap inferior ribbons when really they never worked right. They got this little rocker on the bottom. I mean, they're a little cheaper, but they are cheaper. Really, they still make Smith Corona OEM ribbons perfect. Prints perfect, corrects perfect every time. Same thing, here's a cartridge that's no good. Ribbon, no good. Stick with Smith Corona brand on these as much as you can. They work much better. Here's a correction cartridge. I'm going to show you how to put that in because this is a little tricky sometimes. A lot of people get this wrong. Here's the carrier. It snaps on these two spools just like this. But the trouble is, if you don't ratchet this little red thing under here, it will not tighten up and it will flop back out before you have a chance to even get going. Here's a little red ratchet, and you can stick your index finger right on this little side. It's got a little thing and you can turn it. See that turn? Let me see if I can get the camera a little closer here without messing things up. And see if I can get it focused. Okay, here's the red ratchet. This is in the book, but it's not the most explained item in the world. So, when you stick this correction cartridge in, first thing you got to do is make sure it's tight. There's arrows on here, this side, and there's an arrow on this side on the bottom. Make sure that this is tight. That arrow goes that way. That arrow goes that way. So make sure all the slack is up and this is tight. When you stick it in here, it's going to get a little loose anyhow, but stick it in there and make sure it snaps down like this. You can hear this. Snap, snap. Then get that little ratchet underneath now, but you can see it moving, and then you'll see this little piece move over here. Again, this piece here is just visible underneath the ribbon. So snap, snap. There's that piece right there. When it's good, it's going to move. There it goes. See that? Now it's tight. And it's ready to go. This ribbon is the easiest in the world. You just center it up, push it on. She's ready to go. Let's close the lid and fire this bug up. This is a machine that the lid's got to be closed for it to operate. Some of the Smith Coronas, the lid would, you could leave the lid up and it would work. So, but this is not one of them. Okay, so that's the ribbon. These really work very straightforward, very fast machine. This one does have memory. It's got line-by-line print, so you can type in here. Type into the machine first. That beeping is a spell check. We can turn that off with Code Dictionary right here. Code Dictionary. Now it types without a beep. When you get to the end of the line, hit return. Prints everything out you just typed. Pretty nifty. Same thing with the next line. Type in your line. It types in the screen here. When you get to the end, make sure you don't make any errors. If you do, you use the correct button. Just fix it. And then return to print. In that case, if you correct everything before you print, you never really have to use correction because you've already fixed it. This also has memory. If you flip this switch up, that's type mode, line by line mode. One more notch up is memory, and you get 8 categories here. So you get 8 memory slots. All you have to do is file number 1. You want to make this the real copy? Yes, let's do it. Yes. And now you can type in the machine. Type in the machine. Type in the machine. So we got 3 lines typed in there. And all you got to do to lock it in is turn this memory button off memory. And you come back up here to memory. Now there's a little cursor under the 1. Hit 1. Hit P for print. And return. And that's going to print out what I just did. I'll bi-directional too. Look at that, back and forth. That's a nice machine. So again, if we want to go into memory 2, we just hit 2. We hit draft. Now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time. It's done. Put it back up to memory. 2. Print. There she goes. Very slick machine. Very fast, user-friendly. It does have bold down here. Again, all you got to do is use code. The red code button runs all the red items. Hit code bold. And now we're typing, let's put this back in type mode, code bold. And now we got bold print. Okay, that's our little tutorial on a Smith Corona H series electronic typewriter. This one is a SD 750, but they made literally about 300 of these that are all the same machine underneath, but they would just change the model, change the screen. Some had a separate monitor. Some were just compact without a screen. But they all used the H-series ribbons. The early ones used a 2-spool correction, but most of them now have, in the last 20 years, have had this cartridge correction. And they all take the same print wheel. Print wheel comes right out of here just like this. Very user-friendly, very reliable machine. And that's our video of the day. And that's our company right here, JC Business Machines. Also, website is phoenixtypewriter.com and web channel is Phoenix Typewriter on YouTube. Have a good day.